I'm excited. This is HZ Houston 12. That's my name through Instagram or Hasani. I'm excited because we have a very special guest here today. We have UnckleP. UnckleP, holla at the folks, please. Let everybody know, who are you? What are you about? Where you from? Tell us something, please.
Man, what's going on? What's going on with everybody? How y'all doing today? I'm UnckleP, the debonair. Oh man, I used to do the music thing back in the day. We had a couple labels and stuff like that. Really didn't get too far off the ground back before this before this analog. We were in the analog era, so before this digital stuff and the YouTube and all the just the resources that everybody has now, man. You know what I'm saying? I wish we had these plugs back in the day, but that, and then just dibbling and dabbling in a lot of different things. In the cannabis industry, we had a delivery service. We when DC had just started up doing a pop-up, so we helped a couple of other brands get started as well. And after that, I really just kind of dibbled and dabbled in the crypto as a hobby. And the more I learned, and the more I seen that other people were inquiring about the space, I just started talking about things and just realizing that subconsciously I just had a lot of retained information. So everything kind of built itself from there.
There you go. And so you have a background of music. You sold cannabis for a while, and then from there you came into crypto. And so for the people that's looking at this and want to get into crypto, but they don't really know what crypto is, how would you define cryptocurrency? How would you define the crypto industry?
Right now, I would define the crypto industry as in a couple different ways. As in, for one, it's Web 3.0. So I know me and you, we're a little young when you've had the first wave of the Web 2.0, which were like Yahoo and stuff like that. You remember getting the AOL disc, and I remember getting the AOL disc all the time.
Right. And the dial-up.
The dial-up and all that. That was the beginning of the internet. And then the different ushered in stages, and now we're at Web 3.0 and this age of artificial technology. So that is what is really driving this whole thing, because it's really algorithms. So when you're looking at things that are decentralized and you don't have people that are running these things, you have to realize what is actually running these things, and these are computer code, which is just artificial intelligence at the end of the day, to sum everything up, to one big ball.
That's crazy, because when you describe it like that, bro, in my experience, no one has described it like that to me. So I'm sure if somebody were to listen to this, they'd be like, "What? I thought you was gonna say it's some kind of money that's on the computer, right?" but you say it is the Web 3.0, and basically it is algorithms or computers doing the trade of currency. Is that right?
Right. So you have different blockchains, and the blockchain is basically the native currency. So you have coins, and then you have tokens. So a coin would be its own blockchain, like Ethereum is its own coin. And on Ethereum, you can create different projects, which would be like smart contracts. And these smart contract programs, they would be tokens. So even though you want to buy an Ethereum token, you still need the native token, Ethereum, to even get into the ecosystem. So it's kind of like, say if I wanted to buy, say if Europe was a blockchain. And when I go to Europe, I want to do business with inside this blockchain. Even if I want to buy this bottle of water right here, this will be a token, right? So if I want to buy this token, I need to transfer my United States dollars over to a euro so I can buy this token. Only way I can buy this token within this blockchain is I have to have a euro. I cannot use my, my dollar, or if I had a Bitcoin or whatever, I still would have to turn that over into this blockchain to do business within this blockchain. So that's how
so literally we could think of tokens as goods, and or to be even more specific, intellectual property, right? And so goods are intellectual property, And so those are the tokens, and those tokens can't be bought unless you use the specific currency that was created to make it. Is that right?
Right.
That's pretty amazing.
Say like, right, you go to a car wash, right? You know, back then, we have car washes like that.
Oh, yeah.
Put in $5 and then give you tokens, and you only can use these tokens at the gas station. That's cryptocurrency. That's physical cryptocurrency, but in real world form. So people don't explain crypto in these forms. You have all these computer geeks explaining it in these different ways. Like, you have to simplify things to people so that they can understand. Because crypto is not like, to me anyway, crypto is like if I wanted to buy a house. I'm not a fix and flipper, and I'm not a wholesaler. So if I buy a house today, I'm probably gonna move in that house, live in that house for 5-10 years, you know what I'm saying, take care of the house, and then I will probably either move out, rent the house, buy another house, leave it to my kids or whatever. But I'm not gonna go out here and try to sell this house. So
right.
This investment is gonna be, you know, a long-term investment. I'm not gonna sit here and buy it this year and like, oh man, the market's good, I'm gonna flip it. Unless that market is just that great, where it's like, oh well, I could go ahead and I double, you know what I'm saying, the price of what this house is or whatever this coin is, and then I could go ahead and jump out, because the market, it always flips flops. Everything is not going to be great forever. So in that case, you know, or you could borrow, well, in cryptocurrency's case, you can borrow against your...
Wait, don't say that yet. Don't say that yet. We gonna get to that. We gonna get to that. Real quick, if somebody wanted to do more research on crypto and find out more about it, you know, because, you know, they may not have access to you, but if they do, we are going to talk about that at the end, how somebody can get in contact with you. But how would somebody research crypto a little bit more so they can find out more about it?
I would say, like, far as if you're looking at the charts and you want to do like price analyst and stuff like that, a great source is CoinGecko. And another good one is Coin Market Cap. But as far as like researching the projects itself, I would say find the project's white paper. Like that will tell you what these projects, you know, whatever, you know, because I call them projects, because a lot of these cryptocurrencies are really not even started yet. Like it just went live. Polkadot just went live, Cardano just went live. So like Ethereum is really the only one that is going, and all the tokens on that. But then you have the meme coins and all these different things and I think it's really irresponsible. In our community, you have a lot of people teaching crypto, but they're only teaching about meme coins because people are chasing $1. Not teaching people that their assets in different ways that you can actually leverage your crypto without having to get rid of it, and you know, all this different stuff. Because where we're going to what, you know, the metaverse. Everything is going to the air with this age of Aquarius and stuff like that.
So real quick, brother, real quick. So the only reason why I'm stopping you is because I gotta make sure I digest what you're saying. So a project is nothing but a coin. Is that right?
Right. Or a token.
Or
it could be a coin, but it would be its own blockchain. So
got it. So like Bitcoin is a project and we can look up its white paper. Ethereum is a project and we can look up its white paper. Is that am I understanding that right?
Right.
Okay. And then from there, you said that people are only being taught about how to chase the dollar, but they're not taught how to can you elaborate on that real quick? What did you say again?
They're really like teaching people like how you could get like residual income, you know, how to get more coins. They're just like, oh, buy this low cap coin because it's so cheap and it just came out a couple months ago. So if you hold it, it'll pump. And you're not teaching people when to get out of these coins. Like, people are just, you know, sitting here just buying stuff, riding into the moon. And when everything was when the bull market was, you know, really good, people were buying stuff really high. And right now, a lot of people lost 75% of their portfolio that they couldn't afford to lose. Instead of being in projects that, you know, they wouldn't have took a hard loss like that, or even teach people how to move around their stuff. It just, you know, different things, instead of just like, oh yeah, cryptocurrency is a way that, you know, you can flip your money, you can turn $1,000 into 10,000. Yes, that's true on paper, but if you're not teaching people how to get that money out, all those gains mean nothing. And I've been there before. That hurts. You know what I'm saying? You see
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
portfolio, you know, looking good, and then next thing you know, you just because you're being greedy and thinking like, oh, it's gonna pop, instead of having like an actual strategy to it, and then you sit there and look like, man, oh, what happened?
What most people are here for is how can we marry crypto with infinite banking. So for those of you who don't know, I met UnckleP on a mutual mentorship platform. And basically, I heard him talking his game about crypto. And then I was like, man, he's actually talking about it from a different perspective, like he just mentioned, where he's teaching people how to utilize it and not just invest and hold. And so that's what attracted me to him. So basically, let me ask you this, brother. We talked about how can we marry the two together, and you were talking about leveraging portfolios and putting things together and things of that nature. Can you go into detail about that?
All right. So you have like right now how I was structured, like my portfolio right now, I got out a lot of different coins. So I do a lot of staking. So since it's a bear market, and well, it's probably not a full bear market, but since everything is going down, why don't I, and if I'm not going to trade anything in and out and I'm not going to take, why don't I just put stuff that I know I'm going to make percentages off of? So you have different platforms where it's like a savings account almost, where you're just putting your crypto in these different platforms and just letting them hold it. And you're getting at least like 6%, 4% different places, 9%, 16%. I mean, then you have yield farming where you could get where you're putting different pairs together and you're getting like 89%, even though those percentages, they vary, depending on how the market is. But by everything being in its infancy with this decentralized finance, you get incentives for basically participating in these different things. So even with like with Polygon, they pay you to borrow money. So you might have to pay back 4%, but then they might pay you 6% in their token to borrow the money right now. Like, just crazy stuff is going on.
Crazy. So you mentioned staking and yield farming. And so I just want to make sure I understood you right. Staking is where if you have a crypto portfolio, so let's say I have 100 grand in crypto, I could take a portion of that out and stake it. So that means I'm taking it out of the market and putting it in a savings account, and then I'm going to earn interest on it. Is that right?
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
And what's so powerful about this right now, that when people understand stable coins, and right now you're getting a lot of percentages on stable coins, and stable coins, they are pegged against the US dollar or whatever, native currency your country is in. Mm-hmm. So right now, so say if you stake USDC, which is the US dollar, US digital coin, if you stake that, you might get 16%. So if you stake $100,000 at the end of the year, you got an extra $16,000. Where are you getting anything like, and that's not with the market going up and down, like with Bitcoin, you might have to worry about the price going up and down and different things like that. When you're using stable coins, that's probably the safest investment that you could make if you're going to stake.
Wow. So you just said something that was really powerful. So while the market is fluctuating, your account is still going to pay you that 16% in a USDC coin, US digital coin. Is that right?
Yeah.
So that's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So somebody can stake.
I didn't even mention that last time. So.
Right. So people can stake their money and earn double-digit rate of return regardless of what's going on in the market. So basically, they're shielding themselves from all this market volatility. Powerful, you guys. So then, okay, and then you also mentioned yield farming. Explain that a little bit more, because I missed that a little bit. I'm sorry, brother.
All right, yield farming. Say if like what platform I use, like Cake DeFi. So I would buy some of the DeFi coin, and then say if I wanted to do a Bitcoin and DeFi pair. Say if I put $1,000, I would put up $1,000 of DeFi and $1,000 of Bitcoin, and I would earn interest on both of them. So I think right now I've seen like 70-some%. So I would be getting 70% on both of those, and I would be earning both of those tokens. And then I could take all the interest and put that in the staking. I could automatically put that in the staking account. So all the interest, when that comes in, that's automatically going to make extra residuals as well.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. So you just mentioned a platform where you're going to earn 70%, 70,
Yes.
and then you're going to take that money and stake it so you can earn, let's just say, for example, USDC 16%. So how do you convert that to cash to where you can tangibly feel it or touch it?
No, whenever you're ready to say, once the market starts going up, because right now, if you would do this with money that you don't even, intend to use, some money that you would, have in a savings account, that the banks would only give you 0.2% on, or something like that. And they're the ones making the money. And that's how this decentralized finance thing is going to work, because it's no banks, it's the algorithm. So of course, once these systems hit a certain amount of money, then the percentages are going to go down and stuff like that.
Of course, yeah.
That's how.
But now, so hold on. So you're going to do some yield farming strategies to get 70%, and then you're going to take that and still stake your money to get an additional 16%, and then you could still get access to that money.
Yes, you can unstake it anytime. With some platforms, they have you stake it for a certain amount of time. And then I've seen crazy things where it's like, you can get crazy, like over 100% APY, but you're staking and locking it like in a freezer for 5 years or 3 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
now, how do you look this kind of stuff up? Like these staking opportunities or these yield farming, how do you look them up? How do you get access to this stuff?
Man, I can't say you just find them, but man, where did I find these? They kind of just being in the community, they kind of just pop up. Like I think with Cake DeFi, I think they were advertising on Facebook originally once I first seen them. Because once Facebook sees what you're into, you start getting advertisements and stuff.
That's true.
So I think I first seen them, and I was like, I seen the percentages, and it was like unreal. So I was like, let me click on here. So I just put just a couple hundred just to see how it was gonna work, and it definitely you know what I'm saying. Instead of just keeping and doing nothing, I'd rather make some percentages on it. So,
absolutely.
That good.
Now there was something else that you mentioned. So this is powerful, you guys. I hope you guys are writing this down. I hope you guys are gathering this. So now we're earning 16% in our crypto portfolio. But then UnckleP is also telling us that we can still convert that into US dollars if we want to make it worth something. For those of us that are new, and I'm gonna go ahead and expose my ignorance. When I first learned about crypto, I was like, but how am I gonna be able to spend it if no one else is accepting this dollar? Right? That was my concern. And then some of the people I was around, same concern. So I didn't dive in enough to understand how to convert to US dollars and all this. So that was my ignorance. So don't crucify me, y'all. That was my ignorance. But I've learned from UnckleP, so we good. Now check this out. With all that being said though, UnckleP, you said something powerful the other day where you talked about how you can get access to that money tax-free. Can you dive into that just a little bit?
And this right here is the most powerful thing in crypto. And this is why I understand why like all the Bitcoin heads always like hodl, hold. To say if you're staking, saying right now the market's down, you're staking your Bitcoin or whatever, you're holding still, making your percentages on it. So when the market goes up, this is what you do. You borrow against your Bitcoin instead of selling it. So you could borrow against the 50% of a lot of coins. So you say if you could borrow against 50% of your portfolio, and then the market goes and has a turnaround, you owe back that cryptocurrency. Even though you're getting the money, you owe back the crypto. So if I have 2 Bitcoin goes to 60 grand again, and then it drops back, and I borrow against 1 Bitcoin. I have 2, but I only borrow against 1. So I have 60 grand. Once it drops back to 30, I could go pay back this 30 grand, or I could go pay back this Bitcoin. Now I got a free 30 grand, tax free. And I still have my Bitcoin. It's people that trade like this.
Now, I hope y'all understood what he just told you. So when the market's on the incline, Bitcoin goes back to 60,000. You could borrow against 50% of the portfolio. Well, so you have 2 coins, you borrow against 1. So you borrow 30. The market drops, and when the market drops, let's say Bitcoin goes from 60 to 15, just for example's sake. When you're paying your Bitcoin back, you pay 15. So essentially you kept $15,000 that you could play with tax free. Because the market dropped, you don't owe it.
Yep.
Did I surmise that right?
Yeah.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Now, if the market goes up, then you need to replace that, obviously, because the market keeps going from that point of what you borrowed. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
And it's not like that these loans are like, you know, really long-term loans. So,
and that's the other thing I was going to ask you. Yeah.
Yeah. They're short-term loans. They're, you know, even they have day loans and stuff like that. So even like if you're trading, like, cause if you see something that's gonna pop up, it's like, oh man, it had a big pop today, it might have a drop tomorrow. So even if you want to get a few $1,000s tax-free, is to borrow against it instead of cashing it out. Cause once you trade and you trade it for a different currency, you're making a taxable event. And you know, those cryptocurrency exchanges, they're not going to be fair to you. They're working more so with the IRS because and the SEC, because they're trying to be compliant with this whole new market and stuff. So they're going to play ball.
In your experience, brother, what would be the reason for somebody to borrow against their account? Because you said they're mostly short-term loans. Short-term, does that mean 3 months, 6 months, 1 week? What's the longest you've seen? Or the average, I should say. I'm sorry.
As long as I've seen 3 months, but you know, most people borrow for like a month, a couple of weeks, because most people, you know what I'm saying, they've been doing it for a while, so they really do it for like kind of trading. Like some people, like they'll like trade their Ethereum, they like, because you can get like whale alerts, so you could see on the blockchain when there's like large amounts of currency or cryptocurrency being traded from from a wallet to an exchange. So somebody just took a couple of hundred Bitcoin, and a lot of people are taking a bunch of Bitcoin from their wallets to exchanges, and you getting those alerts in Telegram or whatever. It's like, oh, well, it's about to be a big sell-off. Well, I need to go ahead, borrow against this then.
Yeah.
Drop tomorrow, whatever. I can go in and buy back in for the low, and I got me some free money for the month and for the week, and tax free.
With that in mind, you guys, listen to this. UnckleP just dropped some. I mean, geez, my mind's just blown, y'all. Because if you knew that you could borrow against your portfolio, most people don't know that. I guarantee it. So that's number one. Number two, so now with that being said, with UnckleP providing us this idea, here is the system that we came up with to kind of give you guys an idea of how you can marry your crypto portfolio with infinite banking. But here's the thing I want everybody to understand. This is not a get rich quick type of deal. This is not something where you want to do, like, you can't do this tomorrow. This is going to take commitment and dedication in order for it to work. So based off what UnckleP was saying, let's say you have $1,500 that you can invest. Because the other thing I asked UnckleP about is when you're investing in crypto, does it make sense to do a lump sum or a consistent investment? And you said, what was it again? A consistent investment?
Consistent dollar cost averaging. So
Got it.
Just a consistent amount, you know what I'm saying, as long as you can, because you're catching, the highs and the lows.
There you go. So with that being said, you guys, check this out. What if you have $1,500 that you can invest per month, right? What we would do is say, okay, let's take 1,000, let's put it in your crypto portfolio. Then we're going to take 500 and we're going to put in your infinite bank. Now, once we have those both going on, you're going to do this for 12 months straight, because that way your crypto portfolio has a chance to grow and do something, make it happen. And let's say, so if you're doing 1,000 a month, it gets to 12,000, or that's 12,000 a year. And let's say at the end of the year, you might've made 25 grand total, right? So you're at 25 grand in your account. Well, then what happens is in your infinite bank, you're at 6,000 for the year. But the way infinite banks are set up is you can set a standard amount, and from that standard, you create a floor and a ceiling of how much you can contribute. So now, because you contribute 500 a month, your maximum might be 2,000 a month, right? Based off how you design your policy. These are just fictitious numbers, but follow with me. With infinite banking, especially if we're doing the IUL route, one of the things that we could do is we could say, okay, You invest for 12 months, and after 12 months and 1 day, you have the ability to go into your crypto portfolio and borrow against your account. Now, if you have 25 grand, you borrow against it, that's $12,000. So now you're dumping an additional $12,000 into your infinite bank. And then when you dump it in there, because you did it after 12 months and 1 day, you could take it out within 2 to 3 days, right? So we say, okay, you put that extra lump sum in day 2, you borrow against it in day 3, bam. Now you're putting that money back into your portfolio with your crypto, but you have a lump sum compounding interest in your infinite bank. Now, why would that be of any value? Because now you could park that money in your crypto and stake it, and you're earning interest. And then now, because you're staking and earning interest, that interest you could pull out, even if it's a taxable event. You could pull it out and pay for the because you're still going to be paying that $500 a month now. But now, if you take that 12,000 and put it into and stake it in your crypto, and now let's say you're earning 10% on it just for easy math, well, that's an additional $1,200. Well, you just keep paying that back to your infinite bank. And so now you're investing in 2 places at the same time, making interest in 2 places, like Future said, at the same damn time. Come on, somebody. Because my man used to be in music, I had to throw that in there, you know. But so Uncle P, do me a favor. Confirm if that is okay. Let me know if that conceptually, does that make sense?
Man, that is next level right there. Like, I don't even think anybody's even putting these dots together on the puzzle right now.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Y'all tell me if anybody else is telling you how to utilize your infinite banks like this. Let me know, and I'll give them their roses. I ain't gonna talk mess about them. I'm gonna give them their roses. Hey man, I appreciate you for what you're doing. I'm trying to do the same thing. How you want to collaborate? Because it's collaboration over competition. But I'm for what I've seen, I haven't seen nobody else talk about it. But Uncle P, is there anything else you want to add to this as far as strategy wise? Oh, let me say this before you add. Do want to let you guys know there's always going to be risk involved. This is not advice on how to do. This is just an idea. Of course, we got to sit down with you and we got to go over things in more detail. And this is why I said this is a long-term strategy. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not something overnight, you guys. So I definitely want to say that. But with that disclosure or disclaimer, Uncle P, did you have anything else you wanted to add to this?
Man, not really, man. I think we kind of covered all the bases. I will say this just for throwing it out there. Y'all look up helium mining. It's literally like a plug and play thing, and that is about to be the next big thing for 2022. I already have some miners on the way. I feel like just things now in crypto is just bigger than just buying currency and stuff like that. Is actually tangible things and helping to build this whole this new infrastructure, this decentralized infrastructure, and kind of get away from these businesses. Because one thing that they're doing, they're trying to build like an infrastructure for the Internet of Things. So Amazon, if you don't know, that they have just started this thing called Amazon Sidewalk. So any Amazon devices that you have, they automatically turn on, and they're utilizing your Wi-Fi, and they're not paying you for something that you're paying for and buying from them, and they're stealing your internet to use for the community. So you might as well buy a device where you can actually get paid for doing the same thing. And go on YouTube and see how you can turn that off too if you have Amazon device.
Jeez, that's crazy.
That's real quick. Yeah. But don't let corporate America get all the money, man. Like it's why when it's us versus them right now.
Got you. Now, with that being said, man, you a wealth of knowledge. You taking time to study this to understand it, and I know you're very humble about it. You're like, no, I got more to learn and everything else like that. But if somebody wanted to find you so they can learn more from you, how do they find you?
Right now, you can hit me on IG. You can hit me on my page or the Digital Breadwinners page. We also have a Facebook group, Digital Breadwinners. And you can actually hit up my cell phone. I'm gonna get a new one, but for right now, you can hit up 240-244-9449. Just ask me any crypto questions. I have a course coming soon. I will be.
That's what I'm about to ask you next.
Yeah, I do have a course. I actually have a series of courses and a master class because, man, you have the beginner stuff and then you have the in-depth stuff. And, you know, it's just so much information and it's ongoing information, like day to day. Like, it's so much, like, the more I dive in the rabbit hole, I'm like, man, there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
That's any industry, but I mean, everything is just new. Like right now, somebody's developing something right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
3-4 months. So.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate your enthusiasm. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your knowledge for you to come out here and share like you have. Y'all, if you haven't done it already, hit this man up, contact him, go ahead and find out what he knows, but more importantly, support him and buy one of his courses. Are you coming out with an ebook as well, or is that later down the line?
Oh yes, I am. I'm definitely coming out with the ebooks. I actually have 2 ebooks out right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, just hit me up and I can get those to you. But I'm actually coming for a more comprehensive set of books. I'm gonna have a book on mining. Everything. I'm trying to give all this knowledge to the people because our community, we need to know this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, 100%.
And we have people that are chasing, like I said, chasing the dollar, and they're chasing a lot of crap projects because somebody else that they trust, it's telling them to do it. And you can't even be mad at that. But you have to have the correct knowledge behind it as well. You know.
I feel you, brother. I feel you. Well, brother, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Once again, everybody, if you haven't done already, follow UnckleP. Reach out to him. I'll have his contact information below, and I'll have him tagged in the comments and everything else so y'all can find him. But thanks again for your time, brother. I really appreciate it.
Man, appreciate you for having me, boss, man. I'm loving everything that you got going on, man.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you.